There's some A24 trailer that I just saw that actually looks pretty good. Um, I guess like maybe some people miss the art of cinema and why it is so useful. Um, Maybe to you as you watch this, you're thinking to yourself, this is so meaningless. There's some weird black girl with a fucking microphone sharing her feelings, her facial expressions about shit. And you, measly little person who doesn't understand anything about art, you don't understand that this is art because I am art. You might not be art. That is not my problem. Let's talk about my thoughts about the film before I watch the film. I'm about to watch The Silent Twins. Now, The Silent Twins is a movie about two black girls. It's starring Letitia Wright, who are placed into a psychiatric facility because they choose to stop talking because the weight of racism in white society has driven them actually insane. And so they stop communicating with each other, with the outside world, like all of the people, their parents, teachers, society members, like road crossing guards, everyone. And so everyone just starts labeling them as mentally insane, right? This is a lot of this is actually a very common thing. And I think the only person that I've seen kind of even remotely unpack this is Joy DeGruy, who's talked about post traumatic slave syndrome. No one really on planet Earth yet, except for her, has actually started to make scientific studies about what it is like to process uh, healing, trauma, and psychological abuse that happens when you are dehumanized while black and must continue to live in American society. We've definitely talked a lot about reparative justice in terms of like civil policy and action. Like those are policies which are written on paper, but people are people. And right, there's a lot of books that kind of talk about how the body remembers, things like that, things that talk about trauma. Except if you haven't noticed, there's no law on the books right now that says like black Americans get therapy. They don't. Mm, They like black Americans have never gotten anything. And these women have actually been hospitalized because they didn't want to talk to the white people who were causing them trauma. Isn't that funny? It actually isn't funny. It's just a normal day in America. That's what it is. And it is always like this. I'm not saying this to be like, everyone's awful. But this is the real society in which we live. Even if you write songs about other things happening, that's not the reality. Anywho, um, what was I going to say? How was I going to continue moving forward with this? Uh, well, there's another piece, and maybe I'll try to capture something about it very quickly. I might actually be able to do it on that laptop because I have Prime Video right now. But there's something that so if you have watched the biography of Malcolm X, like that film, I think it's still on Prime Video. It should be. Um, there's a there is a moment in that movie that really changed something for me, and I feel like a lot of people brushed over it. So, um, there's actually a history in America, at least, and really in all of psychology, modern psychology, where women have been called crazy for basically not living within the patriarchy. right? Like, as soon as you start demonstrating autonomy, like, it's actually happening right now in Iran, where women are running around without hijabs and they're just like dancing at the mall, and like 3 women have been prosecuted as mentally insane for doing that. Like, so women have been prosecuted for much less, right? Like, there's actually one guy, I can't remember. I just saw his face. I think Angelina Jolie posted about it. But there's a guy who literally said, in Afghanistan, who wants women to go to college. He said, um, he had a sign. He said, "Let let Afghani women learn." That's what his sign said, and they put him in prison. That was like yesterday. Um, that's where we are in society. So, like, I don't think not everything is about being a social justice warrior, but a lot of stuff is actually about context setting. So, and I really think it's just so important to tell real stories about Black American trauma, simply because I do feel like a lot of the time it's brushed over and ironed on as though it isn't real, and as though there's not like actual people who are living through like the devastation that you continue to hear about and see, and it's just like, who else is talking about it? um I know Leticia Wright is an incredible actress, so I know that the movie is going to be good just because of that. But also, I guess I'm kind of interested in understanding, like, really the story of the characters around her, right? Like, why were, maybe not why wasn't there anyone else who was able to get through to 2 women who were able to have a very deep emotional connection with one another, but were like unable to have an emotional connection with the other people? um Now, one thing I've seen, and I've kind of been talking about this, there's all this space for like white women to grow and blossom very in these healthy ways, where they have like all of these representatives at all corners, like, oh, you can be this, you can be this, you can be this. I feel like maybe for the first time we're kind of starting to get that with Black women, and I guess maybe I'm trying to occupy some space with like this super extremely emotional and sensitive Black one, the dark Black one with repressed feelings. It's a real lane, and it's a real feeling that you might actually occupy. And if you do, I fucking see you, because I occupy that space too. We're here. Like, I continually occupy that space. Like, that is me. I am you. We are we. You feel me? No, but it's a real problem. It's a real, like, it's a real thing. And yeah, let's watch this movie and come back and chat about it after.